If I was asked to provide the most critical piece of information to a new aspiring property developer, it would be to master the art of finding off-market land, to learn how to properly evaluate it, how to negotiate the price based on its true value, and how to secure that with no money down. I'm going to share with you in this video one of the techniques we use to source land and share with our private clients, and also highlight to you the biggest mistake that most new self-builders and property developers make when approaching this subject. I'll also tell you at the end how you can get a hold of our roadmap and our process map so that you know step by step what you need to do in order to find your first piece of off-market land. This subject is so important that we've created a free training called the 50-minute land breakthrough, and you can find details of when the next session is being held below this video. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so now. We have over 90 videos and we've got many more coming, and you don't want to miss out on the valuable content. Oh, and remember to hit the notification bell. Hi, my name is Jim J. Davidson, and I first invested in property in 1973. I completed my first new build development in 2006. As you can imagine, I've made lots of mistakes along the way, but thankfully I've got some things right, and I've managed to build a property development business. In this channel, I want to help you on your journey and perhaps share some of that knowledge with you. And so through this channel, which I hope you will subscribe to, or through our membership app, which I hope you will join, and incidentally it's free, you can learn a little bit more about building houses and building a property development business. The app is available wherever you get your app from, whether you're on iOS or you have an Android phone, or you can get accesses on desktop, and you'll find a link in the description below. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the rest of this video, and please post your comments in the description below if you have any comments to make. There are three phases in the land finding process: detect, detail, and deal. Let's take the first one, detect. And I want to show you one of many dozens of techniques that we use and show our clients how to find off-market land. Let's go on to the desktop. So one way that you can do this is looking at Google Maps. So this is a very easy online search. There are other types of maps that you can use, and you're just looking for, depending on what type of site that you're looking for, you might be looking for a small single build site, or you might be looking for a larger site. So if we look at this, just this road here, we can see that there is potentially a large piece of garden ground here. The disadvantage of Google Maps is it doesn't actually give you the boundary lines, so you can use other sites for that. However, let's just stick with this for the meantime. But if we go click on the actual satellite image, then we can actually get maybe a better image of there, and so therefore you can see there's a fairly substantial piece of ground there. That would certainly going to be able to take a house, one house. When you look at comparable houses around here, you can see that there's a substantial amount of ground. In fact, there is a possibility you could even get a couple of houses on there. The other thing is you can look around and see if there's any potential areas. This here looks like it's in some sort of like a workshop area of some sort. Maybe a look on the ground would tell us that this is is basically not being used. You can see here what looks like new build houses. So if we bring the little person onto the street here, then we can have a look down here, and indeed there are new build houses there. I'm not sure, they look as if they've been probably there for a few years, to be honest. Let's just come down this street and see if we can find that piece of derelict, or what we thought was derelict land. Let's just go back up there and have a search on it. Sometimes you can actually then go from 2D to 3D. doesn't seem to have that facility. Let's just drop that person down here. It looks like there's actually a hedge there. I think that's probably why we can't see it. So let's say we just drop it outside the entrance. Okay, so this looks as if it's in fairly good repair. However, when we look at the actual date on the map, we see that's 2009. Sometimes there's a slider here. So to me, it looks like, yes, in 2009 it was in use, but perhaps now it is not, because when we look at these buildings, it looks like some of these have been knocked down. So again, this would be a potential site, I would imagine. Let's move on to detail. This is where you check out the site in detail to make sure it's a viable site. Now, the biggest mistake that most people make is that they start at the wrong end. They look for a piece of land on market, and let's say that piece of land is on the market for 100,000. They then have a look and they say, so let's say this is a sale price. They then look at the costs. And there's two types of costs. There's the build cost. But before there's any build costs, there are what we call the prelim costs, should I say. And these are all the costs that are associated with getting to the stage of where you have a product that you can build. And so those costs will vary depending on whether this site came with existing planning or whether it requires planning. So you've got these additional costs, and that will be things like the legal fees, and if you're a developer then you're looking to sell it, so you need to have all those costs in there. So we'll just put add costs there. And then what they do is they look at what all that totals up, and they subtract that from there, and then that leaves them with a profit, well, at least hopefully a profit. And so that profit will be from 0 to whatever percent that you like to look at. And the problem is that this is very hit or miss, and I've seen developers settle for very low percentages just in order to try and make the development work. However, the way that you actually should be doing this is you should be taking it in reverse order. So you should be actually taking what is the value of the finished property going to be. So let's say this is 400,000, and then we got build and other costs, and we'll just lump these together. Let's say that for the sake of argument, this is 250,000. So now we've got 150,000, and our profit margin should therefore be 25% at least. So we need to work out what our percentage margin that we're going to accept, but we would recommend at least 25%. So that's going to be then 100,000. And so therefore then the land is worth 50,000. Now you might be saying, but they probably won't accept that. Well, that's part of the negotiation, and if they won't accept that, this deal really does not stack up. And so you need to understand how to present that in such a way and how to properly evaluate the actual piece of land so that you come to the right value. Again, we will share that in the 50-minute land breakthrough training, but also I just want to show you just briefly the tool that we use to sort of semi-automate that process of making it so that we can filter lots of properties through there to find the ones that are the golden nuggets. So essentially this is an Excel worksheet, and so we have our process map, we then have our contact information for the particular piece of land that we're looking for. We have a tab that allows us to work out the GDV. We have our build costs, in here. This is a detail of every piece of kit that is used in terms of material and labor in building, and then we have our project costs, which breaks down all the different project costs. This gives us a deal analysis and telling us how much the land is worth. And so we do this as the first stage, the initial viability. If it passes this, then we move on to our various checklists and we check it out in much more detail. This information then feeds back into our deal analysis to make sure that we still have a deal that stacks up. Finally, we secure the deal. This is negotiating the deal, tying it up legally so that we have exclusivity to that deal. And most importantly, we're not laying out any of our own money at this stage. And so it does obviously need to be funded. That can be either through investors or perhaps even a joint venture with the landowner. So you don't need money in order to do this, but you will eventually have to somehow fund it. And again, we will cover that in the 50-minute breakthrough training, as we will in much more depth than I have been able to do in this video. So if you're looking to join us on that training, look on below this video and you will find a link to the training where you can find out when the next one is. Finally, I said that you could get a copy of that roadmap and the process map, and that's simply by attending that training. So not only signing up for the training, but actually attending the training. Then we will deliver those two pieces of kit to you so that you can have them for your own personal use. And remember to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, like and share this video, and join our membership community. It's free, and again, you will find links in the description below or in the YouTube header if you're on desktop. And I look forward to seeing you and interacting with you within our membership community. It's free to join, so why not join now? Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more videos, then click to watch the next video. Please remember to visit our website at builditandprosper.com to get our app, or click on the button on the YouTube header if you're on desktop.